Welcome back to Hardcore Heroes, everybody. The four of you, including Rohana, are in the keep. The Baroness and her captain of the guard have disappeared. You can leave at any point that you want.
Yeah, we should send letters to Thornwood and Stromheim. And
Have the Baroness give us a letter, and we'll deliver it in person.
also, I don't want to appear any greedier, but I do think we deserve something for this. I mean, I could use something to make maybe some extra workers to make my house faster.
Sure, I'm
Make
sure
my
that
house faster.
the Countess in Thornwood or the Queen in Stromheim will reward us. Shybrook evidently has its own problems right now.
Agreed. I don't want to press the Baroness for anything right now.
A letter, though, confirming our deeds would be preferable. Although we can get by without.
We
that.
single-handedly killed all the men who have been destroying nobles around the land. I feel like we'll get some reward if we go to Stromheim.
Indeed. Well, I'd hope so. Either way, they should be told.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to go find Tyrus. I'll meet you guys at the half pint later. I think we deserve a drink.
Sure, I might not
moment.
be able to make it tonight. I have to go speak to Mother Elise. There's some matters that we need to discuss.
A moment, Malachi, you asked, I think, Rohana, because you're here, Malachi asked you to locate the Chimera lair ages ago, I think.
The spell, Rohana. Yeah. Did you get anywhere with your research?
I know you probably had a
No,
lot of...
I'm a fairly busy person.
I did pay you for your research, though, Rohana.
Yes, you did, and I have done my best, but I am afraid that such a spell to locate the home of a creature is beyond my abilities to create. I don't think I can keep looking, and I will, but I am losing faith that I will be able to.
Okay, I
turn
understand.
something up.
Perhaps I could use your notes. Maybe it will give me a head start.
Could you use some remains of the Chimera to help you? Because we have a, a big skull from it.
Not in town at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If I have some ideas though, we could locate dragon scales. There can't be too many of them in the woods.
Do chimeras shed, Rohana? Like, would a dragon's head ever shed its scales and replace them with new ones?
Suppose they would fall off from time to time.
It could work.
That could do it. We do have other scales of its type, so I'd know exactly what to detect.
Well, anyway, oh right, we should send a letter to Pinecone.
Oh yeah, Jeeves. Okay. Well, why can you sort that out, and I'll go and speak to Tyrus. And then...
I can't write. Andrew.
Okay, I'll sort it out. Well,
Yeah.
look, anyway, I'll be back later tonight. Rohana, if you fancy a drink, we'll be in the half pint this evening for celebratory beverages.
She
Yes.
gives you an approving nod and heads out her way.
All right. So Malachi's going to Tyrus. I'm going to Mother Elise. And what's Ken doing?
I will follow you and ask him, Van, what do you think we should do about these people?
Well, we can. Clerics are able to do a little bit in terms of relief efforts. That's what I plan to speak to Mother Elise about.
All right, remember,
But
you
long
had
term-
something to-
Long term, there needs to be some sort of resettlement plan. I don't think this city's big enough to hold all of them.
I remember you had some spell that could enchant berries, right?
I do.
I could find some for you.
I can't do it today, and they have to be freshly picked. I think it's something that we'll do tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
27 cubic.
So let's do Van. You find Mother Elise. She's in her temple in the market district. You make it into the Grand Cathedral there.
Holy shit. So I go up to Mother Elise and I say, Mother Elise, I just returned I just returned to Shirebrook, and I've noticed there's a lot of refugees out on the streets.
Yes, there are. Dark times, my son. Dark times.
Indeed. I am capable of casting some spells, and I'm wondering if other clerics would be willing to coordinate with me for some relief efforts. I can enchant berries to turn them into sustenance for an entire meal. I could create from 10 to 40 every day. It's not, on my own, it's not that much, but it is something. Additionally, I can create, it's 8 pounds per gallon of water, I believe. Yeah, and I can create 8 gallons of water times 5, so I can create 40.
Fresh water is not much of an issue.
Okay, you can make enough fresh water.
Well, there's a river here. There's plenty of water.
Okay.
But we have hundreds of people.
Are there other
Outdoors.
clerics capable of casting the spell? I mean, I'm sure many know it.
And Father Owen and I.
Goodberry? We're the only ones.
I think. Let me double
The
check.
second level spell. So any third level cleric could be capable.
Well, there's only 3 clerics in this town.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, you are
Oh.
one of 3.
Oh, shit.
Here, let's see. Can clerics of a stair get Goodberry? A, B, C, D, G. No, you're the only one who can cast Goodberry, actually.
Oh my god.
So she actually says, I think that is not in our domain. If you would like to feed 40 people a day, that is certainly noble of you, but I'm sure your abilities are more well suited to something more grandiose.
Well, I'll tell you what, tomorrow I can make quite a few good berries and I can leave them here. They'll last for about a week before
They'll
they
be
go
gone
bad.
in a day.
You'll be gone?
Look how many mouths there are to feed.
I understand. Some people, when people are near dead from starvation, they come here, don't they? Or they're brought to the temple?
She kind of looks around at the throngs of people in this
Yeah.
town. There, the town population's maybe doubled with all the refugees coming through here, and she says,
Look, I'll create some berries tomorrow and I'll leave them here. The priest can use them to feed those who are brought here.
she nods.
What do you plan to do in the long term? To be honest, Mother Elise, I think we need to resettle these people. I don't think they can stay in Shirebrook.
They cannot. There is no room for them here. They will have to move to other villages or other counties.
Or make new ones entirely. I assume there's plenty of open space just north of Shirebrook.
There is some land. It takes a long time to create fields and to till them, and winter is almost here. The last harvest has already passed, or is about to pass, and the lands that they've abandoned are, if not properly cultivated, but there just won't be food enough for everyone to last through the winter.
Oh, by the way, I followed them.
Right.
um,
If we don't spread these people out over a larger area, hundreds will die.
you could. What about fishing? Could the people be at least sustained enough by fishing?
They
don't
don't have
know
the
much
money
about
to
the
pay
coast.
for food. They're farmers. They're all very poor. They have all of their life's possessions on their back. They may be able to feed themselves for a while by buying fish or whatever, but there's not enough food to go around to feed everybody.
I mean, could
Well,
they
they're-
not Could they not settle on the coast and try to fish?
They're not fishermen. They haven't the slightest idea how.
Mother Elise, I have
Feeding
a spell.
people is a difficult thing. You cannot displace thousands of people and not have a food crisis. Some may manage to feed themselves through fishing, but on the whole, thousands, hundreds will die of starvation this winter.
I think the biggest
Mother
problem
Elise.
is
I have a spell. I have a spell called Plant Growth. It would allow me to heighten the growth of vegetation. Plants would yield more crops. Do you think it'd be possible that this would help them survive through the winter? I know it's off season, but a spell like this might be able to reinforce them enough. But I've personally never cast it before. I can't say that I know. But does her deity give her like the domain of plants?
No.
What about the other one, the other cleric?
No, they're both clerics of a stair.
Oh, okay.
Causes normal vegetation to grow, entwine, and entangle to form
It's the
thicket
second
or
use.
jungle. Okay,
Second use of
second
the spell.
use.
1 mile square area makes a saving throw based on the caster's level. See if the spell takes effect. Spell renders plants more vigorous, fruitful, and hardy, increasing yields by 20% to 50% given a normal growing season. It does not prevent disasters, but I'm just skipping over the examples, but it says even in these cases the plants survive better than expected. So it might not be like an ideal growing season, but it might help them actually grow something in the
Wait,
winter.
we're looking at plant growth?
Yes, the level 3 spell.
Oh, not the level 4 spell. Okay, that's a wizard version. Never mind. Plant growth, 3rd level spell. There we go, page 269.
It's the second use of the spell.
Da-da-da-da. Effect, if successful, the spell renders plants more vigorous, fruitful, and hardy, increasing yields. Given a normal growing season. It's the end of the season, so that will not really make it that much of a difference.
So it wouldn't increase yields by 20 to 50%, but it says that also helps plants survive better. Would they be able to survive through the winter enough to give some sort of a yield? Is what I'm wondering.
No, because they don't grow during, like, your tomatoes will stop producing fruit at a certain time of year, and then they just won't produce it for the rest, right? There's a growing season. It won't make them grow out of season.
Okay. Well, Elise, do you know any way to help these plants survive the winter? Because if we can make it to spring, I can help
Plants surviving the winter is not the problem. It's
all these refugees surviving the winter. I misspoke. If we can get people to survive the winter, I can help there be a bountiful spring harvest.
The problem is in the north there are no woods in the north, so hunters wouldn't have any luck there. I guess many of these people are hunters.
What about along the coast toward Anvil? Could we settle some villages there that could fish through the winter?
We
Anvil
might be
probably
able to
have
settle
most luck.
people, but that is not our domain here. That is the job for the Baroness. We are here to provide comfort and aid and counsel to those.
I don't mean to speak out of turn,
The Baroness is
but
young.
the Baroness kind speaks true. The Baroness is young. She doesn't. I don't know if she understands how to deal with the situation, and I think we may need to take action on our own, or we may need to assist her in such an endeavor.
There needs to be law and order, even in times of great problem and great chaos.
I'm not suggesting we go around
The
her. I'm
Baroness
suggesting
needs
we
to
aid her.
approve any sort of land distribution for people to live on. Then there needs to be someone to oversee it. There is a lot of work to be done. It's not just as easy as telling people to go and sit somewhere and make homes. There's monsters. There's surviving the cold at night. There are
And for
very
clerics
serious
such as
problems
us,
here.
If we had the Baroness help to settle these villages, grant this land, could clerics such as us go out to these villages and help protect them through the winter?
There are 3 of us. I am too old to go and protect anybody. How many villages do you think there are? There's thousands of people here. Spread that amongst, maybe 8 or 9 villages from down south? So how are you supposed to protect 8 or 9 villages by yourself for a whole winter?
What about
And would you
the-
even stick around to do that? You are not known for being around in one place for a long period of time, Van. Can you sit still long enough to watch 8 villages?
Perhaps not.
Good mother, question. What about the people who were in charge or oversaw the village's knights?
The 2 of you have a very good heart. Or very good hearts. The gods surely smile upon you.
Yeah, back to my question. What about the knights or people who were appointed to oversee these villages?
They have not left theirs. These are... Some might call this, actually, a rebellion. These commoners, peasants, are tied to these lands and they have abandoned them. There is certainly a certain level of certain sentence that this sort of action carries, but I don't think we can lock up thousands of people at once.
Anyway, maybe we should seek this problem or pull it off, cull it on its roots. The problem is with the disappearing villages, and the cultists didn't have anything on it. We should try to find whatever is in that cave, where that
I
cave
have
is.
no idea what you're talking about, but if you're
No,
done
it's-
with me, I have other matters to attend.
Perhaps I came to the wrong place. Good luck in your endeavors, Mother Elise. And Van leaves.
She heads off.
Okay.
I
I'm
follow.
going. We don't have to roleplay this. But I'm gonna go find somebody to help board up Malachi's house. I'm not gonna ask him. I'm just gonna assume that he wants to do this. That his house will get plundered.
I'm going to the tailor, and my cloak should be ready.
Yeah, your cloak is ready.
Yeah, okay, I take it and.
Malachi, what are you doing
Yes.
during all this?
All right, I have 2 objectives: speak to Tyrus and then speak to Aldrich. So let's go to Tyrus first.
You do find Tyrus. He's in the middle of breaking up a fight over food between 2 refugees.
All right, I'll give some rations to the 2 fighting people, and then ask to go and speak to Tyrus in his
You can't
jailhouse.
give them food after they've been fighting like that. You're gonna reward this sort of behavior. Clearly, you've
Yeah.
never had kids.
You're right. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I'll leave it to you. Can we talk? If you have a moment.
Yeah, these guys aren't gonna get it. Yeah, what do you need?
Look, sit down. Close the door.
He comes into his little sheriff shack. You notice the jail cells are fairly full already. He closes the door behind you. Don't worry about them. They'll be in there for a few days.
So this whole thing that's going on here. it's to
This
do
whole
with the,
thing?
The people, the refugees. It's to do with the disappearing people from the villages, right? Well, I've been looking into it. I'm not going to give you the whole story, but at least one of the villages, something to do with bullywugs. Bullywugs attacked the village. Now, I try not to think about this time, but I remember Shirebrook was attacked by bullywugs. I think I was in the dungeon at the time over a small misunderstanding, and I wasn't allowed help. But you remember that, right?
Uh-huh.
Where did they come from? Was it unusual that many bullywugs to attack the town? How many came?
Well,
track
some
them?
months ago, we started having these bullywug problems. Where all of them come from, I couldn't quite say. We've never made it out to their home. I don't know what you'd call a bullywug home. A
Yeah,
village, a pond, I don't know.
who knows?
We drove them off. I slew a few. More than a few.
I'm
And
sure you
they
did.
hadn't returned.
How many were there?
In the assault, maybe
Yeah.
20. I think 5 got away alive.
Let's say that there was 50. Do you think 50 bullywugs could slaughter a whole town of unarmed peasants with maybe some with weapons? But one of these villages south of the mountains could an attack of bullywugs kill them all? Is it possible?
He nods slowly. Well, bullywugs are odd creatures, but they're not. A group of 50 human fighters, soldiers, could slaughter a village. I think a group of 50 bullywugs should be able to do it just the same. I would say they're roughly on par with your average warrior, as long as you got them on open ground.
It wouldn't be a slaughter though, right? There'd be signs of battle, blood everywhere. People, the men of the village wouldn't go down without a fight.
Well, it depends on how you did it. You've been growing up nice and sheltered your whole life. I've seen some things, Malachi. If you want to take a village, you don't just run in and start killing everything. You surround it and slowly close the net so the people inside panic. You get them afraid of you, you get them to surrender, you disarm them, then you butcher them bit by bit.
In your learned
not-
opinion, are bullywugs smart enough for that?
Smart enough?
Yeah.
They're not the brightest creature, but a few of them could be. They might have a... it only takes one proper leader to organize something like that, yeah.
Okay,
Could be
maybe
done.
then. Maybe. What about the rumors of the mountains? Do you know anything? You ever see anything? Do you know more than what they talk about this shadow? You know nothing.
Well, people have been talking about a curse of the Shadow Mountain since I first moved here. Truth be told, I ain't seen any evidence of it. Weird things happen everywhere in the world. Usually it's the result of some damn fool of a spellcaster trying out a new thing, and something goes wrong, and everyone calls it a curse or a monster or whatever.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this curse of the Shadow Mountains, is it always, people disappearing, or is it, any weird thing that happens down there being blamed on this curse? Like this village is disappearing like this. Is this new, or is this what happens?
I haven't been here all that long, but I've never seen a village disappear flat out, let alone 3. I doubt it's having to do with the curse of the Shadow Mountains. That's probably just a coincidence. 3 things happen all at once. You know?
Yeah. All right. What about the wizard, the other wizard from Misty Rapids, Lichguard? I heard you had some
Georg.
history with him. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
Came over the Shadow Mountains once upon a time. Many months ago. Skulking around town, asking questions. Seemed an interesting sort of fellow. Had a slave with him. Said he came over the mountains with a lot of slaves, and he was the only one that survived. They were into some pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah, like
Somehow
what?
tied to a lich.
A lich. Do you know
Now,
any more?
there haven't been any liches on this in Arcadia or anywhere for a long time. So it's probably not actually tied to one, but it's, carrying around with him some sort of artifact of a lich's.
There is some connection
There's
Well,
something going on.
because
Yeah, he's a dangerous fella. He's murdered more folk than you have yet, probably, and managed to make himself situated in the government up north. Given himself an official rank and title, makes him almost untouchable by the law.
Yeah. No, sure. But while he was in Shirebrook, Rohanna read his mind, right? That's how you know about the lich or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, when we were in one of these villages, Van has a spell to be able to see any strong emotions, maybe get a vision of somebody who was there at the time when something bad happened, right?
Sure.
What he saw there is, when we explained it to Rohanna, she said it was similar to what she saw in Georg's mind that day. Now, do you know what he did that day? What he did when he was in Shirebrook?
I think he spoke to Rohanna about something that day. If you're talking about what was going on in his mind when she was looking, I couldn't help you with that. Just a simple fighter here. Simple soldier.
Sure, but you don't know. Okay.
I mean, look, I wouldn't go messing with that guy. He's been gone for a while. He's stopped causing trouble here. You go around stirring up that nest, you're only going to cause more trouble coming back this way.
Alright, well, one last thing before I leave. I lean in and whisper. You ever hear any legends about a dragon around here?
Nagas, he says, leaning back from your leaning in. They're dragon-like, but not quite. Big, scaly creatures that live in the water. Serpentine.
Ah. What kind of rumors? Legends? Who would Aldrich know
takes
more?
a tap on his green scale armor and goes, pulled this one off one myself.
Where are they situated?
They live in the river. In the Crystal Run. A few of them out there. They're dangerous suckers.
They don't live in caves.
No. They live in the water.
Look,
twice as strong as an ogre.
That's impressive. But We scryed on a dead person from one of the villages. We saw a cave, a pile of hundreds of bones, hundreds of dead people.
Troll cave.
Hundreds of people, whatever it was, killed everyone, took the people from these villages. Well, look, I shrug and
Hundreds
say,
of corpses, huh? Well, there's
Yeah.
that chimera flying around that rumor has it you guys brought down. That would
Yeah, but
probably have picked up hundreds of people over its lifetime.
yeah, but it didn't take the people from the villages. It wouldn't be so subtle.
You think all the corpses are from the villages?
I shrug. It makes sense, right?
I mean, you find one corpse in a pile of hundreds. I mean, were they old bones, new bones, all dead bones, all together? Could have been anything. You know, maybe that person wandered off, or
I didn't get it.
maybe the bullywugs took them, and you know, then this person got lost. Hell, maybe it's a bullywug cave, and that's where they put all the bodies.
Bullywugs don't live in caves, though, do they?
No, they live in the swamp, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a place of retreat. Caves are defensible locations. They might not live there, but they might hide their corpses there. Maybe a bullywug leader of sorts. The Grand Toad lives there? I don't know.
I suppose, yeah. Is that a thing? Maybe that could be it. Maybe they've got some sort of powerful wizard. All right. Well, look, I'm going to speak to Aldrich, but thanks for your time, Tyrus. Good luck with the with these guys, pointing to the prisoners and the people out there. If I can help, let me know. But I'm going to try and fix this thing at the source, right? And then maybe we can set
Yeah.
where
No,
they came
hold on. Before you head off.
Yeah.
Now, I hate to say this, and it's probably may not be. Well, you ever consider that you're poking around south there is what's causing more people to go missing? You know, you start mixing things up and causing more problems than you're fixing.
I shrug. Could be, I suppose.
You know, maybe leaving these things alone is the best way to solve the problem.
We didn't really do anything when we were down there, though. I mean, nothing to do with anything that could do this. I'll take it on board, Tyrus. I'll leave and
Good
go.
luck. Okay.
I'll go and see Aldrich. If you want to switch back to the others, though. That's all
Sure.
right.
The others. Do you have anything that you want to do this day?
Yeah. So
Running to the end of our time.
having lived in this town my whole life, are there like food sometimes goes spoiled and rotten, right?
Yeah.
I mean, somewhere to dump all the refuse. How much would there be? Like, would there be tons and tons of spoiled and rotten food?
No, people are pretty good about buying what they need and eating it that day. There's not
Okay.
the same sort of waste that we have in the modern era.
Okay. That's unfortunate, but in that case, I'm just going to get Malachi's house boarded up.
Sure. Kind?
I will seek out Van, or Malachi, whoever I find first, probably Van.
You find Van at Malachi's house, looking for Malachi.
And I go up to him. We should make sure that letters are sent. Word gets out that we caught this guy.
We
Also-
should bring them. I think we should carry them ourselves. I think if we were to deliver letters that we'd accomplish this deed in person, we'd. I think that has the most benefit for us.
And to be honest, as much as I want to help these people, the situation will not get better until we find out what lives in this cave. We know it has eaten or done something with hundreds of people. It has some sort of ways to cancel out magic.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kine.
If
This thing has been able to kill off entire villages without leaving any sort of trace.
Man,
It's
man,
smart enough to be
Man,
detected.
if
I
this-
don't think I can kill this thing. I don't think
if
we
this-
can kill this thing.
If this was one of the old tales, I would immediately say that it is a dragon. I don't know much about dragons, only what the stories tell. But after what Malachi heard from this cave, if this is a dragon,
I think our first move, if it is such a creature, would be to go to Stromheim, either way. Because there, I assume there's like a big library in Stromheim, Neil.
Probably, yeah.
There we might be able to find more information. Our resources here in Shirebrook are somewhat limited, and I have no interest in tracking down such a powerful and dangerous creature without first researching it. I know you're not gonna. Yeah, I know you
should head to Stromheim as fast as possible. Best immediately. We should send a letter to Pinecone and immediately, as soon as Jeeves arrives here.
Let's just go get Jeeves, and then we'll travel to Stromheim with
all
him.
this way.
Yeah, we'll just go get Jeeves on our own because it's on the way anyways. Sort of. It's to the north.
Let's switch back to Malachi and Aldrich. Malachi, you can go talk to Aldrich. They let you in the keep. All that fun stuff.
I'll knock on his door again, as I have many times before.
It's the same sort of cursing coming from the room, and eventually he pops down and sees
surprise! It's me. All right, can we talk?
Yes. What do you need?
Can we
You're
go
not
upstairs?
here looking for food, are you?
No, I'm not.
Good.
So, have you've heard the news
Which news?
about the people that murdered the Countess and the Baroness and some great heroes have brought them to justice.
Ah, it's about time that some heroes showed up in this land.
Indeed. I'll give him a smack, but I won't say anything. So look, I'm here about this other problem that we've got now.
What?
The people, the people disappearing from the villages, the refugees. The curse of the Shadow Mountains, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about it before, but what do you know about it? People
curse?
say there's a shadow that flies over the villages and brings doom to everyone.
I mean, if they were called the Fire Mountains, people would say there's a great fire that moves from town to town.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, but look,
But there's something creepy about that place. Lands
Indeed.
further south have never been successfully settled. People do go missing. Now, some of that you can attribute just to woods being dangerous, but look across the continent. We've settled pretty much everywhere, but the Hidden Valley? Pretty untouched. There's definitely something special about that place.
You know how we detected the illusion magic over the villages where people had disappeared?
Yes, an elementary spell, I believe.
Well, no, because the radius of the spell was hundreds of feet.
Right,
the whole field.
right, but an apprentice wizard could have detected that. Yes.
Could have detected it, sure, yeah,
Yes.
indeed. But, well, we found some hairs of one of the missing people and used a clerical spell to scry on them. And we observed a cave, presumably in the Shadow Mountains, and a pile of bones numbering what must be 200-300 people.
Oh my.
Something shimmering faintly golden in the distance, and I cast a clairaudience spell there and heard a deep rumbling. Now, I'm not one to jump to conclusions, but, what could kill 300 people and would have a huge gold thing in a cave?
What would keep 300 bodies in the cave?
Well, yeah, bones. Chewed on.
Could I just remind?
No?
No. Okay.
No?
No reminder.
Well, hundreds of bodies in a cave?
Yeah. And if this has been going on for, what, hundreds of years, thousands of years?
You think there's something that is the curse of the Shadow Mountains?
Shrug,
a
I mean.
particular thing?
What else could it be? I mean,
What lives thousands of years?
Well, yeah,
Dragons?
I shrug. That's the only
Elves?
thing I can think of. Well, it would have to be some elf.
Elves
eat
and
that many
dragons
people?
and-
Could it be a dragon? What do you know of dragons? Are in this area?
They're not shy.
Perhaps.
Dragons are fairly aggressive, arrogant creatures. They make their dominion known. They don't hide and eke out an existence in the wilderness.
They hibernate, though, don't they?
They have been known to disappear from time to time, but there was a dragon around here its presence would be known. I mean, Hydroxus lives north of Hillsborough.
Do you know? Are you well learned on dragons?
I am well read on many subjects in this world.
Do you have a book?
Because I took the time to study these things instead of foolhardily running around.
Now's not the time, Aldrich. Yeah, do you have some sort of index on the different types of dragons? Maybe there is one that's less boisterous, less arrogant, likes to hide away.
Not to my knowledge. They come in red, green, blue, black, white, are the chromatic. The metallic are gold, silver, bronze, brass, and copper. And there have been a few others spotted. Hydroxus is a mist dragon, I believe. There's a brown one west of the Dracus Mountains, named what's his name? Maltrax or something.
Okay.
Not a true dragon. And I believe there's a yellow even further to the west. At least there used to be a yellow, rumored to be north of Akuba. Her name escapes me now.
Neil, out of character, would I have any idea that a shadow dragon might exist? Like, that's even a thing?
I think you've probably never heard of brown mist or... you've probably heard of mist, but you probably haven't heard of brown or yellow dragons. You're familiar with the 5 chromatic, 5 metallic, and the mist dragon. A shadow dragon is something...
As a concept, though, rather than a...
Like, would he know that such a creature exists?
I mean... I think... How should I say? People have probably talked about every sort of dragon in the same way that we talk about things like, oh yeah, what if there was like a steel dragon that breathes shards of steel, or like a fire dragon or a lava dragon? Like, so people could have come up with that notion, but as it would be a rumor, a legend, a non-existent thing, a hypothesis, rather than a known.
So what if there was some sort of, do you know why it's called the Shadow Mountains?
Well, big valley, it's in shadow all the time. Walls are fairly close to one another. High mountains. If you were to be in the middle, you'd spend most of your day in shadow.
People talk about, a giant shadow flying over. Could there be such thing as a shadow dragon? One that maybe, isn't so obvious when it flies around. Maybe it's more careful.
A dragon that keeps to the shadows?
I shrug. I don't know what else could live for that long and eat that many people.
Well, maybe maybe it's not a single thing. Maybe it is a family of things or a collection.
But there is no evidence of anyone having been in these villages. There's no
signs of battle. If you've scryed on this cave, why don't you continue to scry? Wait to see what you can find. Gather information.
Because if it is a dragon, then me stumbling upon it is going to do no one any good.
Let me ask you this. If it is a dragon, what do you plan to do about it?
Well, there's a dragon in Stromheim, isn't there?
Yes.
A gold dragon.
Nixim.
He's a good guy, right?
She
wouldn't take kindly to another dragon down here.
Golds are a special kind. I think most people, were they not metallic dragons, most people would call them arrogant. However, since they're metallic and good, people tend to call them powerful and mighty.
Indeed. Well, look,
But she does not rule. She offers counsel to the queen, or king, whoever it may be at the time, but does not take an active effort in solving problems. She lets humanity deal with things in their own way. I don't know if you somehow could gain an audience with Nixim. I don't know if you could bring her here, or if she would even want to. She has done nothing to stem the tide of death from Scoria in Mistrea. Scoria has slaughtered thousands.
But this is within
maybe tens
Eredon.
of thousands. I don't think dragons see territorial borders quite the same way that we do.
Either way, though, it seems the first hurdle is to identify what this thing is. Now, I have ideas for tracking down where this cave is and perhaps going in and seeing what's inside, but it's a dangerous business. I thought, do you have any books on dragons, or...
I have some personal notes that I've jotted down.
Well,
they're just scribbles, though. Not much to look at.
I was planning on heading to Stromheim. Is there a library there I could consult? Do you know anyone there? Another wizard, perhaps?
Yes, the Queen's assistant. What is his name? I don't quite remember his name off the top of my head. He's a quiet sort of fella.
Well, if you could write me a note or something that I could take to him.
Write you a note to take home to your mommy?
No, to take to the Queen's wizard. My mother is, well, she's dead. Or I assume so, anyway. Thanks, Aldrich.
Kelderon. Keldon? Keldon.
Keldon.
Keldon's his name. Yes.
Is he powerful?
A mighty wizard indeed.
More powerful than yourself?
He's advisor to the Queen. He's probably the most powerful wizard in the country. Possibly in all of Arcadia. Well, I doubt he would see you, though. He has probably greater things to attend to than your small problems.
Well, we've done a great favor for the kingdom recently. If the Queen seeks to give me a reward, perhaps it's to speak to this Keldon.
I hear they've locked up the city nice and tight, that no one's getting in or out.
Indeed, but I believe the threat has come to an end. Check it out. I pull out all of the Malchus holy symbols. Do you want one?
Oh dear. He picks one up and sets it down on his table on a different table of his without acknowledging your gift. So many. All of these are from the dead. I see blood on a few of them.
Yes, they are dead. They did not surrender.
Should put them in your bag. Blood stains, and this table is hardwood. Oh,
sorry, Aldrich. Here, look, you can have this clean one.
He takes it and looks at it, makes sure it's clean, rubs it on his robe, sets it down next to the other one that he set aside.
It's been a useful chat. Will you write that note for me, or not? Have you met this Keldon yourself?
No, never.
Oh, I suppose it won't do me much good. Well, it's good to speak to you, Aldrich. I'm probably heading to Stromheim soon, so when I'm back, hopefully it'll be with good news.
Very well.
Alright, I'll leave and head to the Half Pint to meet Rohanna and Valentine.
The party can meet up there, but I think this is where we end for the day. I also think that you guys have been cruising around in town, so it's probably the end of the day anyway.
Sure. One thing, I was seeing the house boarded up. So he has like a lock on the door, right?
Yes.
Is it like a good lock or just a standard lock?
It's a standard lock.
Could I buy a good lock? And just replace it? Like, would I be able to install a new lock is what I'm getting at.
You wouldn't be able to install a lock. Your locksmith could come and install a new lock for you.
Could look into that. I don't want people breaking into this house.
Thanks.
I'm keeping my stuff in there.
100 GP for a good lock.
Oh my god, right. Malachi and Aldrich just had a friendly discussion.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And what does a good lock do over a poor lock?
You know, the DMG has 6 qualities of lock: wretched, poor, good, excellent, superior, and masterful. A good lock has a 0 modification to thief picking. A poor is a plus 15%. An excellent is a minus 20. A superior is minus 40. So
he has like a good lock, I assume?
Right, which is the normal sort of lock.
Okay, how much would it be to get like a better lock?
That is not a price listed in the player's handbook.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was just poor and good.
Right. So if a poor one is, what was it, 20?
Yeah,
And
good
a
is
good is
100.
100. An excellent lock, which is the next step up, would probably be like double or triple cost. It'd be super expensive.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how
we're
much is
talking
the
couple
bonus? It'd be
hundred
like minus 20 to thief skills?
Yeah, minus 20 to lock picking chance.
I would pay upwards of 200 for a lock like that.
Okay.
So if I can find a locksmith willing to install a better that quality of lock for 200 gold, I'll swing it.
No, there's no one in town that can make a lock like that right
Okay.
now.
I
You
can
could
wizard
have
lock
a
it.
lock imported from out of town, and this guy could install it.
Okay.
I will. Before we leave, I'll wizard lock the door.
Okay. Now, before we end the session for today, I want to ask you guys what your objectives are, because the nature of our game has changed. It is not simply, fighting this thing, stopping this thing. It is now, countrywide scale problems. If you're going to try and feed these people and clothe and shelter these people so they don't die, that's not solvable with a couple of spells. That's a larger problem, and tackling that is going to be it's going to be mutually exclusive from figuring out what's in the Shadow Mountains, which is different from trying to get into, Stromheim or something. So there's kind of bigger issues, and you're not going to be effective if you split your attention between them. So what...
I think, because we still need to help out Kind, so we're going to try and get into Stromheim and research this issue with the Shadow Mountains, I think is our first step.
That's our primary goal, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to kill whatever's there, but we're going to try and figure out what it is and see if there's any steps we can take to stop it.
Yeah, because Kind wants to find out what it is. If his fear, or even Malachi's fear, is correct, and it's a dragon, we would probably try to get help.
I mean, if there is a gold dragon in Stromheim.
And if we can't kill it, because killing it would probably solve one problem. The villagers could return to their villages. And if we can't kill it, then Kind would have to make sure that these villagers can survive.
Yeah, but I mean that's a second hurdle, Neil. I think that's our primary goal.
Yeah.
Primary goal is figure out what's happening in the Shadow Mountains.
Yeah, do some investigative work.
Okay.
And we have again decide what we will do then. If it is a dragon, then we have to go another route.
So I think our first step is to get like a letter from the Baroness saying that we killed the conspirators who have been causing all the murders across the county. And then see if we can get into Stromheim, and if we can get into Stromheim, get an audience with the Gold Dragon.
Okay.
Or at least with the Queen.
Yeah.
Wait, Neil, we need XP though, right? Surely.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
I'll count up my spells.
This should be quite a lot for me.
Yeah, I would think so. It's 2 sessions worth.
Yeah. Plus all those clerics.
Yeah.
Like it's multiple hit dice each, and clerics got to be worth a decent amount considering they're spellcasters.
Sturges are worth ridiculous amounts of XP.
Yeah. I didn't cast that many spells. 18.
Oh yeah, it was like a bunch of Sturges.
Yeah, it should be a lot.
Sturges. We defeated the Moldman.
And I don't want to tell Neil what to do, but it's a pretty big quest that we've been on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We solved it. We killed the guy.
We did. And we captured the leader. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Well, the leader of the group. The leader we didn't capture.
I think we
don't
have.
even know.
Yeah, I think he was talking maybe not to Malchus. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you each get 312 quest experience. That includes all of the combat.
Okay, so combat plus questing. You did wrap up all these guys. That's pretty significant. Let's add a bunch for that. And you, what else did you do?
Moldman.
Did you do the Sturges?
Right, Moldman, Sturges,
Bandits?
clerics.
Bandits, maybe. Not really.
No, you
Okay,
were not
okay.
threatened by those bandits. And that's an insignificant amount of experience compared to the grander total.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think that's actually it. You know, they're the only combats we had, and
right. Let's add some role playing. No, we don't do role playing experience in this one. Okay, divided by 3 people. From combat and questing, everyone takes home 3,880.
okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. I did. I'll just, yeah, we'll do it when we get to personal.
Just do that another 7 times.
Okay, so Kine, you get 10 XP per hit die
No,
per
40.
level.
40 XP per hit dice.
Because he's level 4.
Right, okay. So, oops. And there were a bunch of Sturges and a bunch of Mold Men. Where are my Mold Men hit dice? I had left notes so I could track them.
Maybe I'll level this session. I only need 50,000.
And I think we've got 2 sessions worth of like role playing XP. I think.
Yeah.
Kind, why don't you take home? That's probably going to be about 2,000 experience for monster hit dice stuff.
About 2,000?
Well, yeah, it's 1,800, and then there were some Sturges in there, which you were asleep for mostly. So I'll give you some experience for it, but I'm not going to try and calculate it out, so I'm just going to round it up to 2,000 from 1,800.
Do you have 2,700 more so I can level up?
No.
But surely the hit die, Neil. So there's what? If the clerics are level 3, which they are at least, that's 33 plus the leader. So that alone would be 1,000 plus the. Yeah, I guess that's probably.
Yeah, I can do math. Well, I can't do math, but my calculator can do math, and I can count at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Priest successful spells.
I
to
did
overcome
23
problems.
23 over these 2 sessions.
All right,
So
that's
that's what we got.
1150. Malachi, you did
18.
18, so that's 900.
I did the recap last time, so that's 100.
Right, so you take 100 for the recap. Fine, you take 100 for a recap.
And we've got 2 sessions worth of role playing.
Right, so take home 400 for role playing. Any particularly clever ideas that stand out?
Did I get anything for the tracking? I did.
No experience for tracking.
Oh.
Did we do anything clever?
Nothing that strikes me as like super clever. Like there's always minorly clever things everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing that really changed anything. Okay. I think that's it for experience. Did anyone go anywhere? No.
I got almost 6,000 though.
I got 10%, or a little over 10% of what I need to level. So.
Well, these levels are slow.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a third of the way to level 8.
Very nice.
I'm about 2,200 away from leveling.
Okay. Let's talk next week. We're going to be playing on the... What do we say? Saturday the 17th at noon, as long as Sean can get up at 4 a.m. and drive somewhere.
Basically, the only way I'll have to cancel is if there's the only time slot that's going to be okay for driving that weekend is midday Saturday. That's the only way I'd have to cancel.
And that's not likely?
Probably not. It'd be very bad. I can't tell you until a few days in advance because it's weather forecast for the mountain.
Right.
But like if all of Saturday is going to be bad and all of Sunday is going to be bad, except for like one time slot on Saturday that conflicts with the session, then
is the weather in that area frequently bad enough that that's actually a problem that you can't go somewhere because of the weather?
It's worse in February, but yeah, it's still, you get lots of snowstorms in December.
I've always lived in warm climates, and it's never been like, oh, the weather's bad, we can't do this today.
Well,
it's been like,
it's a
oh,
mountain
look,
pass.
it's slightly raining.
Yeah.
Oh my, maybe we should stay inside.
It's a mountain pass, so it gets pretty bad in the winter.
Yeah.
Neil, it would be nice if maybe we could start at 11 your time, an hour before. Well, it doesn't have to, but it would be, it'd be all right.
Okay, I can try and change everything to 11. Let me email with people and see if I can't.
I don't know if
No. Well, fuck it then. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so we're gonna do Saturday, and we'll start at noon, and we might go significantly longer than usual, but we'll kind of play it out and see what happens with times and whatnot. I know our European players don't necessarily want to be up until 4 a.m.
No. I'm committed for that. I'll if it happens, if we're all here, I'll be up.
I mean, my vacation starts on this Saturday, on that Saturday, so I'm up for it.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Julio. Well, that's it for this week's Hardcore Heroes, everyone. If you stick around now, we're going to be doing a little bit of XCOM for just a short period of time. And I'll see you guys next week for more Hardcore Heroes. Bye-bye, everybody.
Reddit thread.
All right.
Reddit thread.
Oh, yeah, put one up.
All right. Bye.